This is Eric Posable with Body Morph Pros. I'm here with IFBB Pro Keith Williams. Keith, what's going on, brother?
Just out here in Rockford, Illinois. Just watched my wife win her Class B physique class and then win the overall title. So just out here having some fun with her and enjoying her moment with her, and that's about it.
It's like being on the other side watching the wife win this time.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I mean, when we first met was last April at the Hawkeye Open where I was a guest poser, and I swear to God, I seen this girl, and I went back into my client's room and I said, I just met my future wife, honestly. And there was like, what? And the next day, that night, we hung out. The next day, we hung out, and then next thing you know, she was moving to Minnesota. Then I guest posed in at the Iron Viking, and we conceived our child, and then she couldn't work out for 7 months. So then she said, after I have the baby, I want to do my first show in about 9 months, and so here we are today.
You got a baby girl.
Baby girl, Kansas. My first girl, my pride and joy. Got 2 boys, and now I finally got my girl. So
it's like having that little baby girl. It's a little different than having a boy, right?
A little different than having a boy. She's a daddy's girl. Name is Kansas, from where her mom's from, Kansas, and it just pleases punch. I always wanted a girl, but not too. When she called me and something, I go, it has to be a girl, and she goes, it's a girl. So you know, I finally got my little princess.
Yeah, the thing is, I have a boy, he's 4, and my daughter's a year and a half. It's like I treat her a lot different because I feel like I just want to
exactly
secure her a little bit more than the boy.
She probably won't date till she's about 30.
Yeah, 45. That's about 45. Yeah, till the day I die, and then she can date. So whenever that is.
And we're big guys. I say, look, I keep getting bigger, so good luck with that.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. I was talking to someone at lunch today. I said, my first boyfriend comes over to the house, I'll be in the backyard digging holes.
I said, you know,
well, how tall are you?
I said, my whole thing is, have you watched Bad Boys 2?
Yeah, I love that scene.
Me and her uncle's gonna come to the front door and be like, really? But I'm gonna come off with my shirt off, all sweaty and everything. So, you know.
How old are you, boy? 16. You look 32.
You look about 32.
Marcus. So what's been going on with you? You look big as a house. What are you weighing?
Right now I'm about 285. Anywhere between 285 290. I told Dave I didn't want to go over 300 this year because I'm not going to own that on stage. So I told him I want to say about 285 290. So we've been staying there consistently and just growing. After the Chicago, I decided to take the rest of the year off to focus on my wife, and I coach my son's football team. He's 11-year-old. We're 22-0-1 now for the last 3 years. So, and I love doing that. So I said, step away from bodybuilding and focus on family this year, and then get back into it next year.
You got anything planned, or just going to kind of see what falls into place?
Well, no, we got the Orlando Pro plan, the Arnold Brazil right now, and possibly the New York Pro. Okay. So those are the shows I plan on doing. Things may change, but those are my plans for so far for right now.
Obviously still working with Dave. I've been working with him quite a while now. Yeah,
I've been working with Dave. You know, it just, after Chicago Pro, I felt that was my worst showing. You know, I wanted to do some things different. I took everything.
You didn't look like the Keith I know in that show. Like, well, I've seen you better.
Yeah, I didn't use as many diuretics as I usually do. I had cheat meals I usually don't do, and so I basically tried to reinvent the wheel after Orlando, in which my condition was sick because after Orlando, Sean Roden came up to me honestly and says, look around you right now. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, look around you. Nobody has your condition. And for the placing I got for Orlando was kind of discouraging. So I went back trying to reinvent the wheel, saying, what can I do? Yeah, I got to do things different when I didn't. And so after looking at my pictures from the New York Pro, I wanted to get back to that look. So that look means I have to do the things that I did different, which is, don't drink as much water, don't do the cheat meals.
A
little suffering versus let me do it this way, and so that's what we're going to get back to.
Now, have you been following the Nationals at all this weekend?
Yeah, I followed the Nationals quite a bit. We had a 7.5-hour drive here, so I got my Mini. She's driving, I got my Mini.
Got the RxMuscle.com play-by-play on?
Yeah, I got it on and was watching it. 1,000 competitors. One of the girls, Jessica Vetti, she turned pro. She turned pro today, so congratulations to her. Chris Santamarini and another kid, Charles Griffin, they didn't do so well in the light heavies, but
it's good to see the Midwest kind of getting some representation and doing well at some of these shows.
Yeah, and the thing is, I thought Kevin would do a little bit better, but again, these classes are getting tougher, and so you just don't know what they want. Trust me, I know. I was 6-time runner-up, so I know. So it's just trying to go back and keep grinding and learning from your mistakes or learning from what you did at the last show to make yourself better. So
yeah, well, I know with Tomasini, it's probably the best look he's had in years.
Yeah, and that's what
he was on point.
Yeah, and that's what they said. So I was like, who the hell was at the show? I think Michael Lockett probably ended up winning.
Yeah, they said he was up there first or second. I know he's kind of got the freaky genetics. The one leg's bigger than the other, which it is what it is. From the backside, he's always got the glutes and his back's real impressive. But from what I heard, the supers weren't super impressive, and the people I talked to, they would like to see Kevin's legs a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I know after the injury, maybe that had a little bit of a toll on him.
Yeah.
But they kind of wanted to see the legs a little bigger, and he to get conditioning as a super, you're going to lose a little bit of size, and maybe you lost a little too much.
And sometimes, as a pro now, what I'm learning from like Sean, who's a big mentor of mine now, is don't worry about so much the size, but come in condition. The size is going to come, but, everybody's like, oh, I'm at 280 pounds, 270 pounds. I mean, now I compete at 245, 250, and I'm happy being there. I'm not going to own 260, I'm not going to own 270, but I'll sacrifice some condition.
Yeah. And I feel like some of these shows, like the men's physique guys are bringing it. They're hard, and they're dry, and they're grainy, and then some of the men's bodybuilders, I feel like it's kind of falling off a little bit. You got a couple guys that always look good, and then it kind of falls off.
I've seen a couple guys here, the black guy you just interviewed here, I'm like, holy buckets, and the other guys.
He's in physique? Yeah. He looks like he just walked off the NFL tryout.
Yeah, I'm like, man, these guys are looking good. I'm like, I remember at Tampa, the Tampa Pro, I think it was this year, Evan looked at me and would go, the men's physique is going to run us out of business here in a minute. Yeah. So, those guys are looking good. So, these guys just got to understand, size doesn't matter. Excuse me, I'm sweating a little bit. Size doesn't matter. And that you just got to come in condition and bring it.
I have clients that they're worried about what the scale says. Man, you're 230 and winning. What do you care if you're not 240, man? Just get on stage and be shredded.
You got to be like Dave tells me. I always tell him, this, that, and other. He goes, your weight doesn't matter until you get on stage. But when I'm 280 now, people think I'm 300. When I'm 250, people think I'm 260, 270. So you create that look. I mean, what they say, Flex. I asked Flex, who was my trainer forever, what was his best look? He said 217.
Yeah.
And
I think as a big guy, though, when you're 280, 290, 300 pounds as you've been, and then you start seeing that scale drop mentally, it just messes with your head like, oh my God, I've lost so much weight.
Well, we're super, so we know how that is. So, it's like, I remember Dave once looked at me, or not Dave, but George Farrer, when I first started doing USA, he's like, I'm bringing you in at 231. I'm like, no,
you're not.
I'm 5'10", dude. I look little as heck. But, again, those guys know what they're talking about. So now that's what you hire nutritionists for. That's what you hire coaches for. You have clients, and we just have to follow the plan and follow that plan and see it through, and see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, man, it's always great catching up with you. I've known you a long, long time. It's good to see some guys in the sport that are approachable and fun, have it, and still enjoy it. And
I know a lot of people ask me, what are you doing in Rockford, Illinois? I'm like, my wife's here competing. Yeah. So
what's funny is everyone was like, dude, did you see that huge black guy walking around? And I was like, who? And everyone's like, I don't know what he looks like. And so I was pointing him out. I said, oh, it's Keith.
Yeah. I was telling them I was looking for you all day. I'm like, where is he at? They're like, he's over there, he's over there, he's over there. And I know you guys do a great job of body morph, and I love you guys' site. And just keep up the good work, bro.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. We're going to be expanding. We're actually be down in your neck of the woods. We're going to be covering some of Chad's shows next year.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. And we're actually going to be up in Minnesota soon.
Yeah, and Chad just reached out to me because he wants me to get involved with the shows out there. So I'm looking forward to that. So.
Yeah, we'll travel down there. We'll get crazy.
Excellent.
Awesome. Keith, always a pleasure. Keith Williams, IFBB Pro. Look for him next year at a couple of shows coming your way. Eric Posable, Body Morph. We'll catch you guys at the shows. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.